Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bell Ringers podcast. I'm Colin. I've been here with me today. We are so excited to bring to you the second episode of Bell Ringers. If you missed the last one, check that one out. We sadly discussed a lot about the lockout. We played a few games, and we talked about some Phillies targets in free agency. Now the lockout has ended, which we'll get to in a minute. We can really talk about free agency, figure out what's actually going on. We'll update you on things you might have missed and things that we hope are to come soon. So, Ben, tell us a little bit about yourself and we will get started.
What's up, guys? Benjamin Goldstein here again, filling in for Shin Halt. He will be back sometime soon, hopefully. I am the owner, founder, whatever, of Philly Sports, so I'm really excited to
Mastermind.
The mastermind behind Philly Sports. But I'm excited to fill in for Shin Halt once more today.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. And I'm Colin Daly once again. And make sure you guys go follow us on Twitter for updates, especially right now where a lot of craziness going on. All right, so the first thing we will talk about is the new CBA. So a few of the highlights here. I'm just going to read off the list that I wrote down. $50 million pre-arb, minimum salary, $700K, increases by $20K each year. The luxury tax, $230, will end up at $244. Larger bases, designated hitter, six pick draft lottery. 12 teams make the playoffs. I'll get to that part in a little bit. All players get full pay and full service time. I'm not a big fan of that one. Advertisements on uniforms and helmets. I saw this once. You know, it is what it is. You get baseball.
Whatever.
I'll tell you though, I'm going to be stocking up on my jerseys because I don't know my jersey to have a logo of some other business. So I'm going to get some jerseys. The amateur draft is 20 rounds. Players, I think this is an underrated one. Players can only be optioned 5 times. And there's a third surcharge and luxury tax. I think the whole option 5 times thing is going to be big. I mean, do you remember back in like 17 or 18 when Austin Davis got put back and forth like 24 times?
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, but, and that's going to –
yeah, I kind of overlooked that part. Now I'm looking at it, it's actually very smart. I mean, everything's kind of fine. I mean, the 12-team expansion, postseasons, whatever, 6-pick lottery draft, whatever. I'm fine with the DH. I like the strategy of baseball, but it'll help the Phillies. The larger bases, I'm not stressing over about that. I don't know if you put the shift in, but they're banning the shift.
Oh, right, yeah.
I think that with the large bases is coming in a year, so that'll be 2023. Whatever. The shift, I mean, it'll make baseball a little more exciting. I like the strategy, but I also don't like dudes looking at note cards in their pocket and walking over to a base or walking over to a spot. That's kind of dumb and annoying. But I mean, just ban cards and do it off of like strategy. And
yeah, I do that.
More exciting, but whatever. I'm fine with everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if that's what it gets to take that baseball back, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Like I said, some other things is let's keep going through the lockout stuff because I know it's like the most depressing topic in baseball I've had since a long time, probably even COVID. Spring training opened on March 11th. Players are mandated to report by today, which is we're recording this on Saturday. This will be posted on Sunday. Games will start March 17th. Now it is March 18th, I believe.
March 18th, yes.
Yeah, so March 18th is when spring training games will begin. They will, I believe their first game is against, I'm going to say the Tigers. I think that's
Tigers, yes. They're always playing the Tigers now because they're like right down the road.
Right, yeah. I think they're in Lakeland, so
yeah,
that's only about an hour and a half away.
They play the Tigers 5 times. So.
Oh, that's fun. Well, I know that they did adjust the schedule because they're trying to keep spring training moving so that there's not as long road trips. So
yeah, I mean, they're playing the Yankees
4.5 out.
They're playing the Yankees 4 times. They're playing
Toronto. Well, yeah, they're in Tampa. There's 30. Toronto's in Dunedin. That's 15 minutes away. Mm-hmm. So, but it's good because I don't want to drive 4 hours and 30 minutes to Jupiter to play the Cardinals in a 1-game set. One game set. That's useless.
When you're going down to Clearwater, right?
I am, yes. So
when will you be down there?
24th and the 27th. So that's gonna be 4 days.
Nice.
We're gonna have that's something that I'm going to brainstorm. But I'm going to do some type of interesting coverage down from Clearwater.
Stay tuned.
Details on that will be forthcoming. I don't know when that is going to be. Well, it's going to be when I'm down there, but I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. But we will figure it out, I promise. Opening day will be April 8th. And I actually made a mistake when I made this and I printed it. It says at Oakland. It will be at Citizens Bank Park. So versus Oakland. We will be there. He'll be there. I will not be
And
there.
then I possibly will be going to the game after that because they're giving away a Bryce Harper MVP t-shirt and I need that. So my friend's taking me to that game. So that'll be fun.
Ooh, that might be one I might need to go to as well. It's going to be, I'd like is it an MV3 shirt? I think I saw that on Twitter. MV3.
I can pull it up.
Yeah, but and then opening day is April 7th. So
yeah, it's MV3.
Keep that in mind.
That's probably the day he's getting his plaque because it kind of looks like.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it kind of looks like the plaque, so it might be the day he's getting it, but whatever. 15 and older. I'm 14. I look 15, so they'll give it to me.
Oh yeah, that's just a little deeper voice.
It's a great age. It's a great age for giveaways at 14 and 15.
It is. You just
because you can say, "Oh, I'm 14,"
and
people will just think you look like an older 14-year-old, or I'm 15, you just look like a small 15-year-old. That's
right. Standing to your toes a little bit, a little deeper voice.
They
really sell it off, and you're good.
They don't care.
And then opening day for most teams will be April 7th. The first matchup of the season will be Sox and Yankees, so that's going to be exciting.
In the Bronx, that'll be very fun.
Cannot imagine that game. All right, so we're going to get right into the game today. So we have a $15 build a player.
I will make sure to spend $15 this time. I promise.
That was a minor problem last time, but of course we're past that. So before we'll do we'll do Ben's team first, just for change it up since. Oh no, we did your team last time first, right?
Yeah, I was first last time.
All right, so I'll go first this time. And then real quick shout out to Bleacher Report. By the way, the graphic should be on the screen. Yes, so real quick shout out to Bleacher Report who made this, I think back in 2020. And
yeah, this has to be
even though it's old, I think that this is easier, and I think that's going to make it interesting to see. Like, I think there's one that's so obvious on here.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
I've been eyeing it since I looked at it.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go with the arm side. Starting to the arm side, I'll work my way over to the hitting side.
Right to
I think
left.
Ben knows why.
Right to left, bro.
Yeah, right. Wrong way. All right, so I'm going to start off with my arm, and for $4, I'm going to take Ramon Mariano. He has a gun, and I feel like automatically I'm not taking Correa because I want an outfielder's arm. I think if you're an outfielder, their arm's probably just stronger in general.
I don't know why Correa's even on there. Or Chapman.
Yeah.
I was Chapman $5, but he's not even an outfielder.
I think Harper is accurate, and I really wanted to take him. But then I don't think my numbers would have added up the way I wanted them. So I did go with Laureano, and I like this pick. Now, I want to say that he's such a scrappy hitter, but it doesn't really mean anything here. But he is he throws the ball so hard, and you can tell he puts everything on it, and he just seems like the perfect pick for looking for arm strength and arm accuracy. For fielding, I also went for $4 pick, and I went with Javi Baez. Javi Baez is gross. I mean, he's just such an athletic person. He can slide to get the ball. He can just do things that no other player in baseball can do. And while I don't love this pick, I have confidence that he can do it as long as he can make those basic plays, those routine ground balls. For speed, I think this is an obvious pick at the $4 spot. Trey Turner.
Still.
Is still. Because Buxton is fast, but the difference between $1 in this is significant. And I don't think the difference between Buxton and Turner is significant. So Trey Turner. Also, he's such a good base stealer. And I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but behind Javier Baez, Trey Turner has the best slides in baseball. Behind Baez. And I will stand my ground on that.
I still can't get over.
I don't know. Baez is pretty gross. Yeah, against the Phillies. That was the best pop slide ever.
I still can't remember. I still can't with that Trey Turner slide against the Phillies with the Dodgers. That was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And I tried to reenact that at camp for the next 4 weeks, and it never worked. So whatever.
And then for power, this was tough for me because I really wanted to go Gallo or Stanton. But I think Alonso, if we're just talking about raw power, ability to hit the ball out of the yard, it has to go to Pete Alonso. I mean, he didn't hit for a high average last year, but he still had the home run numbers. Proves that he is going to be a constant as a power hitter. And I had to go Pete Alonso. I had to.
It's
Just
fair.
because he has raw power. While so does Joey Gallo, and so does Giancarlo Stanton. Alonso's the same amount of raw power, I think, as Stanton and Gallo. Even though Stanton is a better, he could a better caliber player than Stanton if Stanton plays to how he did in Miami. I had to go with Alonso for this one. Just seeing him hit the home runs his rookie year, I knew I had to pick Pete here, the polar bear. And then for $1, I picked Juan Soto. That's the biggest
that's
on the board.
obvious.
That is obvious. I mean, Yelich is not $4 anymore. Rendon, $1 maybe.
Forgot about that guy.
Bregman, off the board. The only guy that I can justify being up there is Trout. So,
Yeah.
And Soto, of course. Soto should be in $3 or $4 spot. 100%.
Soto should be $4, and then Trout can't move because he's really good.
Yep. So, quick recap here. We got Juan Soto for $1, Pete Alonso for $2, Trey Turner for $4, Baez for $4, and Ramon Laureano for $4. Ben, what do you got for me?
Just did the math. I'm staying under $15 today. So I'm gonna go Hebrew Wekio and go right to left. Starting with the arm, we were just talking about his t-shirt. I gotta take the MVP, Bryce Harper. I mean, I remember walking out of a restaurant one night. It was the Phillies were playing Nationals in 2019, and Harper. I looked at TV for 5 seconds. The ball's bouncing off the wall in right field. Harper, like a wheel, lines up and just chucks the ball to third. I think it was one bounce got to do that at third base.
Yep.
I mean, it was an incredible tag by Franco, I remember. But it was on the money, and it was a great throw by Harper. And he's done that before too. So I gotta take Harper for $2. It's a steal.
Mm-hmm.
Fielding, gonna take the $3 pick here with Mookie Betts. It doesn't get much better out in that right field than Mookie Betts. Right field is a very easy position, but some of the best fielders play out there, like Harper and Betts. Right fielders are sometimes overlooked out there in that out in the corner. For speed, I'm gonna go Trey Turner here for $4. This is obviously old because he's still wearing Washington stuff. He's the fastest. He's the best. I think it was you I was talking about this the last episode, but he's the best all-around player in baseball. Speed, hitting, power, fielding. He can do it all. He's absolutely
other than
amazing.
Shohei.
But yeah, obviously Shohei. But I mean, Trey Turner, other than pitchers.
I guess Trout too a little bit because he.
Yeah,
well,
but
I do think Trout
it's different.
is slightly.
It's different with staying healthy and that stuff because Trout cannot, for the life of him, stay healthy, which is why I think he's a little bit overrated. But well, that's a different talk. That's a different conversation for a different time. Power. I'm not gonna take Aaron Judge here because then I would be at $15. I need to punish myself by going under because I went over last time. So I'm taking Stanton. The dude might be not as good as he used to be, but in his peak and still is now, the dude can hit the ball to Mars. I mean, I remember his 60.
Oh, he crushes the ball.
60,000 home run season with the Marlins a couple of years ago. I think it was 2017. But I mean, that was absolutely ridiculous what he did then. And then I gotta take Soto for the $1. I mean, that's like the easiest pick ever. So to wrap it up, $14. Harper as my arm, bet Mookie as my fielding, Trey Turner as my speed, Giancarlo Stanton for power, and Juan Soto for hitting.
Yeah. And then I would say, I think we can unanimously agree here. Most overrated pick on this board is Christian Yelich and Alex Bregman. Overrated picks are Yelich and Bregman.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe Matt Chapman a little bit.
Yes. If we had to redo this, their Bleacher Report would have a lot of shifting to do here.
Yes, they would. That's all right, though. We appreciate that, because this time Ben did not have to make it. So thank them for that. All right. So our third thing today that we are going to discuss, third, free agent update. So, Ben, can you give us a little update on what's gone around so far?
Right now, there's not been a whole lot. There's been a couple deals. Clayton Kershaw went back to the Dodgers for a year.
That's not surprising.
I think this will be his last year because he only signed a 1-year deal.
He's not that old, though.
What else was there?
33. We got
33.
Rodon to San
Carlos
Francisco.
Rodon kind of surprised me a little bit. Didn't really think he was going to the Giants. I kind of forgot Carlos Rodon was a human being after they banned Spider Tack, because that was the most Spider Tack no-hitter I've ever seen in my life. The Blue Jays got that foreign guy. What's his name?
Oh, I saw that. I don't know. There was
Whatever.
also an international relief pitcher who went to the Cardinals. I do not recall his name now. Like Verhagen, maybe?
So basically what we're trying to tell you, not a lot has happened.
Right,
yet.
yeah.
The biggest thing is Clayton Kershaw going back to the Dodgers, and that was very expected.
Yeah.
I don't know why people thought he was leaving.
Yeah, I think the third biggest signing, Simmons, Andrelton Simmons, who's kind of been all around the last few years. He spent the prime of his career in Los Angeles with the Anaheim Angels, or in Anaheim with the Los Angeles Angels.
He's going to the Cubs.
And Yusei Kikuchi, who has signed the most. I saw that deal and I could not believe it. He's getting paid like $12 million on average per year. I don't know. I'm not really sure what the deal is there.
It's a little interesting.
Yeah, he went to the Blue Jays, and I guess the Blue Jays just have a lot of money, I guess, to spend on Yusei Kikuchi. Who knows? The only trade so far is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and a prospect of who was in the Rangers organization, got swapped with catcher Mitch Garver to the Twins. That really wasn't that significant either. I mean, Garver's all right. Kiner-Falefa had a very good season last year. I think he's young, so that is something to look out for. But still on the board, we've had a lot of good guys. Obviously, Chris Bryant's on the board. Juan Soto was in some talks. He only has a year left on his contract.
Juan Soto's not coming to Philadelphia.
Well, no, we know that.
Imagine Bryce Harper, Juan Soto in the outfield. That would be unstoppable.
Yeah, and Chris Bryant, he's not coming to Philadelphia. I don't care what rumors I see. It is not happening.
I would like to piggyback that a little bit. I was just on a podcast with W Sports Network talking about this.
I was in there for about grand total of 30 seconds, and I had to eat some dinner, but I did hear you guys talking about that.
Chris Bryant would be an amazing pickup for the Phillies. Alec Boehm I don't think Rhys Hoskins starts the season as a fielder. I think he starts as DH because of his because he had surgery on fielding the baseball last year. So I think he starts at the DH. Boehm is at first, which is brutal, but it's whatever.
So I was gonna say that's hopefully get a lot of pulling ball this season. Let's just hope for that.
And then Chris Bryant would always be great at third, but I just don't see it happening. I don't think he comes here. I think the Mets spend way too much money, and the Giants will spend a lot of money on him. Because
I don't know why people.
I know he wants to come here. I know Bryce Harper wants him. Bryson Stott wants him, but it's not going to happen. The only thing that I think will happen and better happen is Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber is the most perfect fit in Philadelphia we've seen in a long time. We need a left fielder Kyle Schwarber is a left fielder. We need a power hitting lefty. Kyle Schwarber's power hitting lefty. We need a leadoff hitter. Kyle Schwarber was the leadoff hitter all last season. I mean, it's perfect. It's exactly what you're looking for. And I just think it's right there in front of you. You were close to getting him before the lockout. Go get him now.
I could not agree more. I think that having Schwarber on the team gives you some postseason experience too, which I think the Phillies desperately need. Like desperately. I
And now with the
think that
12-team expansion, the Phillies have a much better chance of getting in the playoffs.
well, see, I disagree with that. Only one more team from the National League is going to get in. I mean, is that
Oh, I didn't even think about it like that.
like? See, it seems like a lot. One team's going to get. So I guess they're
But
going to
one
do.
team, I think the Phillies, if they get Schwarber, will be much better this year. And
Well,
then
yeah, that's true. But the Phillies are going to have to do better. Like none of the Phillies teams, even with the 12-team expansion, are making the playoffs the last 8 years, right?
the best
Like
team we
none of the
had was
teams.
the best team we had was last year.
Yeah,
Last year was
and that
horrible.
team's not making our 80 or 82 and 80 team is not making our 12-team expanded playoffs. So it can't. That's just, and that
We
whole thing is
are
what makes it
also
so dynamic. Is makes it so interesting.
we're also going into the year with half a bullpen. We literally
And
have
3/5 of a starting
legitimately
rotation.
half a bullpen going into the playoffs, going into the season right now. There's a lot left. There's Joe Kelly. There's Trevor Rosenthal. There's a decent amount of players left on the board, which the Phillies could pick up for minimums, not a lot of money, which would be nice, but they need to do it soon because it's starting to get a
Yeah,
little.
and that's what I'm saying too. Like the fact that we haven't signed as of Saturday at 5:06 p.m. The fact
And
that
we
we
haven't
have
done
not
anything.
signed not even that. We haven't signed at least just a reliever yet. $1 million reliever blows my mind. Because if the Phillies, like, you got
And
Dombrowski, Sam
we need
Fall,
at least a starter.
right? Like the fact that we've got some smart people up there. We've got Dombrowski, who led the Red Sox to a World Series. If they can't realize that out of all the brains that are sitting in Clearwater right now in their little booths, they're probably tanning in the sun on the beach around like it's raining in Philadelphia right now. Like if they don't realize that we need to sign a, did I say raining? Snowing. Like why?
Snowbag.
Someone needs to realize that. Someone needs to
David's got to
realize
get
that.
off. David's got to get off TikTok. Looking
Yeah,
at
that,
like,
or he needs to like roll up his beach towel and maybe go to the office for a few hours.
he's
Make
got to
some
roll
phone
up his
calls to
Joe
Scott
Girardi
Boras.
beach towel that they were supposed
Yeah.
to do in 2020.
Who wants to lay on Joe Girardi at the beach? Oh, it's traumatizing. But no, I don't understand. Like, the fact they haven't realized that they need, like, at least, like, if you can get two guys, like, $1 million guys, like the Nationals just got Cishek. Like, you need to realize that kind of stuff because the guys who like the Archie Bradleys of the world are going off the board now. Yes, Archie Bradley's still out there, but the guys of that caliber who are going to give you a 4 ERA and are going to do their job when you need to do their job in like the 6th inning or in the 7th inning or the 5th inning. Like those are the guys who you need to see are still out there and pick them up. Like it blows my mind.
Reyes back out there on the bump.
And I don't want to be like, I don't want to, take this for granted, but I'd love to sign a few more starting pitchers because the best thing for the Phillies, and I will stand by this until I'm in my deathbed, the Phillies moving Ranger Suarez back to the bullpen would be the biggest thing to help that team. And even if he can build up a stamina, if you can have Ranger Suarez to do a solid inning every single night, I cannot even imagine how much better that team last year could have been. I mean,
I loved Ranger Suarez as a starting pitcher. When he started going 7 innings scoreless, I was like, "Holy cow! The Ranger Suarez can do that." I mean, he's only been a Philly for how many years, and he's been in the bullpen struggling.
3.
And now he's amazing.
Well, see, and that's the thing.
If he
He's been
needs
so
to be our
underrated
starting,
forever.
if he needs to be our starting pitcher, I am more than happy to be a starting pitcher. Where I would rather him be, where he's more comfortable being, is in that bullpen as either a long reliever or a mid reliever. He's not a closer. He needs to pitch multiple innings.
See, I can't justify that because
If he
his
needs to be our closer,
velocity
he needs to
isn't.
be our closer. Whatever.
Well, he did fine in the closer's role. He did more than fine.
Yeah. He can,
I
you can
mean,
put him
I'd
anywhere. At this point, I think you can put him anywhere and succeed.
I mean, this sounds like a long shot, but could you ride him 8th inning, 9th inning?
If you needed
I
someone
think
to shut it down, I feel like Ranger Suarez would be a good.
I'm not joking. Literally not joking right now. I'm saying Brandon Workman, top closer in baseball, comes to Philadelphia, and it's like he literally came with a bomb in his back pocket when he walked into Citizens Bank Park. Like literally, that was the most. That 2020 trade deadline was the worst. Like I saw, we got like Keith Hembry, the guy who I try to forget people's names when they do bad. Honestly, we got a guy from Brewers. His name completely slipped my mind. And we got Brandon Workman. They all had sub 3 or sub 4 ERAs coming to Philadelphia. They all had above 5 ERAs when they left. I don't know how that's possible.
Phillies non-roster invitees. Scott Kingery is one of them. So they've invited catcher Edgar Cabral, right-handed pitcher Nick Duran, infielder Derek Hall, infielder Scott Kingery. I just said that. Infielder Yaro Munoz, left-handed pitcher Braden Ogle, catcher Logan O'Hoppe, outfielder Johan Rojas, infielder Bryson Stott, and outfielder Justin Williams. You think Stott
just got Williams?
You think Stott makes it up here?
So that's a good question. Originally, I would have said no. Originally, I would have said yes. Now with the 5-team opt-out, 5-team option, I'm unsure because if things don't work out, they want to waste sending him down. But no, that's I want to change my opinion. I do think he's gonna make the roster. I never really thought about this because they're not gonna he's not gonna be a player that's gonna go back and forth. So there's no way he's gonna get sent down 5 times this season. That's not gonna happen. When he comes up, he's gonna be a starter. Because they don't want him to lose reps. They don't want him to lose that consistency of playing every day. Every level he's on to, low A, high A, double A, triple A, he's played every single day. I think they want to keep that flow in his career. And I think that's important. So yeah, I do think he'll make the opening day roster. I don't think a lot of people think that, but I think that he's gonna have a good spring training. I really do. So I'm really hoping that that's something that comes to fruition, him making the opening day roster. No, so it will be interesting. Have you seen Logan? I think it's Logan O'Hoppe's story.
What is it?
He never played baseball professionally after high school. I think this was it. He went to a Yankees game and caught a Phillies home run ball.
Yeah, I know.
Decided. John Boy posted about it, I think.
Yeah, you can explain it to the viewers.
Yeah, and then he caught a Phillies home run ball at a Yankees game. He decided to get back into playing baseball a few months after not playing baseball at all. And now he's in the Phillies minor league system. Team inspired him to play baseball and he's back. So I think that's cool. So no, I like that the list of invitees. I mean, I'm glad those guys are probably ecstatic. They weren't expecting it. They're probably just expecting to hang with the minor leaguers, so that's good for them.
I think it's hilarious. Kingery got one.
Yeah. I was hoping we never see that guy in a Phillies uniform.
Alex Kofi, who is in for Matt Breen at the Inquirer, just said per Source Athletics won't agree to trade Matt Chapman to the Phillies unless returning package includes someone at the top of the Phillies farm system like Painter, Abel, Stott, etc. Source says that thus far Phillies have been reluctant to deal those guys.
The only guy in there that I'd be willing to give, you said Stott, Abel, and Painter?
Painter, yeah.
Abel, maybe. Painter is hard now. Stott's not happening. The A's pitching's okay. So they've got a few good guys on their major league team, the A's. So I don't know. That's interesting, though. I'm not sure how willing. I don't know if Matt. Never been a big Matt Chapman fan, to be honest. We just completely dissed him on the pod, so no, it is what it is.
We love you, Matt Chapman. If you're a Philadelphia Philly when this is uploaded,
I don't think he hit well last season though. I don't
Eh,
know.
whatever. He's a third baseman he's a third baseman. He's better than Alec Bohm.
That's true. That's true. Well, I don't know. I like Alec Bohm. I think he's gonna. I didn't like him last year.
If
Every time
Alec
he
Bohm
was
can
up, I was
field, I will say, I bought an Alec Bohm jersey after the 2020 season. It's a powder blue jersey. After I bought it, he stunk. Is it the curse of the jersey, or was he just not good last year?
I really want to say he wasn't good last year. I mean, he wasn't good last year. I think he'll be better this year. I mean, I think the most embarrassing thing has to be as a baseball player. When you kill your rookie year, you get second in rookie year votes, and you are hearted your second year. That has to be embarrassing. That would embarrass me if I was him. So I would expect him to come back and play to the caliber or almost to the caliber of his rookie year. That's what I would hope. And I mean, I didn't hear of anything like they were pitching him one specific pitch or one specific spot that I couldn't hit. He just looked lost. I think he was over swinging. Like
He
in
could
his
when he could hit the ball sometimes. Like he was never
he
totally
lost all his power though.
yeah. But
Going
his fielding was
1 for
really
4
what-
with a single. Oh, that too. I don't know. That really. That's going to be another conversation for the day.
Yeah.
I did not know the whole situation. I'm gonna look into that because I want to see what the deal is with Bo. All right. So quick spring training preview. The schedule looks like we're starting with the Tigers. I'm actually gonna pull the schedule up because I don't remember it. But we do start with the Tigers on. Let's see here. To start with the Tigers, Toronto, Atlanta, Yankees, Tigers, Blue Jays. I will be at the Pirates game, the Yankees game, and the Tigers. No, I'm a liar. Yankees game, Tigers game, Blue Jays. And then we'll just continue on. A lot of these are American League teams. We play Pittsburgh a few times. So that'll be. And is this the entire schedule? Are they stopping?
Yes,
Okay,
this is the entire schedule.
Okay.
There's not a lot of
cool.
games this year because they tried to squeeze it in.
Well, yeah, that's what I expected. I think they have about 3 weeks of games, which I think is fine. As long as the pitchers get work, that's what I'm the most concerned about. Getting the pitchers warmed up. So that's what I really want to see. In terms of players to look out for.
All I need to see from spring training this year is a lot of Bryson Stott. And when I mean a lot, I mean he should be playing every single day at minimum 3 innings.
And then I would like Didi to follow. And if Didi plays the way he played,
I need Bohm, Didi, and Stott a lot of time this spring.
Yeah, I also want to see Hoskins.
True.
Come back from his injury. I want to see JT. I think he had a down year. I think he had a down year last year.
Who?
There's JT.
Yeah.
I think that there were things that even though he played well, I think there was little things I noticed that he just wasn't how he's been his entire
He
career.
He wasn't the same throwing the ball to second or third, trying to pick off guys. He only had.
I think offensively was the biggest part too.
Offensively, he wasn't hitting the ball the same. There was something.
I think it was the biggest.
There was something.
Missed opportunities. I agree. So they're the 4 guys I want to see. If Didi plays to the same caliber he played last year, and Stott excels, I think
not we might have to deal
to
Stott deal Didi at the trade deadline if he stinks as much as he did last year. And
I would deal Didi before the trade deadline. I want him going. I mean, with Stott coming up, I mean, it really depends. Didi's future depends on the Phillies because if the Phillies are contending, then it's all about performance. But who is performing who is performing well right now? Biggest thing. And if they're not really contending, then that's when Bryson Stott starts every single game. He gets his at bat. He faces his major league pitchers. I don't care if he's hitting 136, 236, 336, or 636. He plays every game.
Yes.
And that's because that's what you do when you're a team that has a top prospect like Stott. That's what they should have done to Bohm. They sent him down to AAA. They should have sent him down to AAA way before when they did, because he can't sit on the bench in the major leagues. Not a guy like him, especially someone who's making defensive errors. I mean, he's not going to improve his defense by sitting on the bench and watching Ronald Torreyes field ground balls, right? I mean, if you're watching, Nolan Arenado or Matt Chapman field ground balls, maybe that's different. But you're not going to improve by watching. And nothing against Ronald Torreyes. I mean, he's did well for us last year. But they need to be smarter with their prospects. Their prospects can't be their bench players, is what I'm trying to say. So if Didi is down here and Stott's up here, Stott gets the opening day start. I'm not opposed to that.
I agree
If
with that.
they can do a deal for anyone, really, any position, just make the team better, get a starter, get a reliever, you deal a Bell or a prospect, and you deal Didi to a team that's not contending. They'll love Didi, right? Didi's a fit for a non-contending team, I think. Or not yet contending. Like, I'm trying to think. I think Rangers have a decent shot. Orioles are still
My
bottom.
friend who's a Yankees fan texted me today. He said, Correa might come to the Yankees. I was like, yeah, I knew that. And I said, you should take Didi back. He was like, oh, I would take Didi with open arms. I was like, all right. Tell your
Call Dombrowski.
Didi is very available.
Yeah, we
He
are.
has a crappy contract, but you can take him. One of the things I like about spring training is you're either expecting it or you're not expecting it. When you're football, it's always expectations. Your backups stink, your starters are better. In baseball, you have these no-name prospects that are going off, and then you'll have some really good pitcher in your bullpen who allows a home run to a D3 player.
I enjoy spring training games more than the average regular season game. The substitutions, the way it's a little bit more casual. Now, of course, when that Phillies Mets series, I look forward to that for 2 weeks. That is not no spring training game can be that fun. Or playoff game or any
regular
game
season game
where
it's not exciting and it's like a 2-0 at the end, where it's like
your games like our May games.
Yeah.
Or in this season, well, not really. I'm pushing the season back by 7 days, but our middle of May, end of May, early June games.
Those are usually
the most interesting.
Those are usually the boring
that's your average game, and I love spring training. It's so fun. It looks just it's fun down there. It's a fun atmosphere. Baseball for fun.
That's why I want to go to spring training so bad, just to experience it. Which next year, hopefully, we'll be down there. I was going to this year.
Let's wrap this up.
I was going to this year, but we didn't trust the lockout. So
we planned it before the lockout, and I was getting really scared about that because I was unsure.
I mean, you're still in Clearwater.
That's true. Still after Clearwater. I've been in Clearwater before.
Clearwater, as your shirt says.
Yeah, Clearwater. So, interestingly enough, and then we're going to get to our last segment of the show. I counted to have 23 different Phillies things. I'll be wearing a different one for every episode. So this is number 2. So last episode I had the Phillies collared shirt. So today we have the Clearwater shirt. So I'll just have a little fun with that. All right, I have our last segment. I'm really excited for this. So you are in umpiring school, right?
I am doing umpiring training.
So I'm curious what this is. I am pretty familiar with the rules. Like whenever I go to a tournament, I have to read the rule books for my own baseball. I'm curious. This came out of 2019 Sports Illustrated Kids. I used to get these in the mail. I'm going to read a scenario to you. So this is what's an umpire scenario. And I just want to see if you can get this right. I got this wrong.
Okay. Everyone
I've talked to got this wrong. Because this has always been wrongly enforced, I guess. Mm-hmm. So here you go. In a baseball game under MLB rules, Madison Monarchs pitcher Bobby Daines is pitching to Franklin Flyers slugger Doug Cram with no runners on base. After the first pitch, a ball, Cram steps outside the batter's box to reset. As Cram steps back into the box, Daines quickly throws a fastball right down the middle. When the pitch hits the catcher's mitt, Cram doesn't even have his second foot in the box and complains that he wasn't ready. Dane says Cram was taking too long and already had a foot in the box when he threw. You're the umpire. What's the call? So you think about that. I'm going to read it one more time for our viewers at home. Back the video up. So in a baseball game under MLB rules, Madison Monarchs pitcher Bobby Daines is pitching to Franklin Flyers slugger Doug Cram with no runners on base. After the first pitch, a ball, Cram steps outside the batter's box to reset. As Cram steps back in the box, Daines quickly throws a fastball right down the middle. When the pitch hits the catcher's mitt, Cram doesn't even have his second foot in the box and complains that he wasn't ready. Daines says Cram was taking too long and already had a foot in the box when he threw. You're the umpire. What's the call?
He has 1 foot in the box.
That's correct.
I feel like with how you're describing it, I feel like the pitch counts. But if I was calling it in a baseball game, I called a ball. Or not like no pitch because he wasn't ready. His feet weren't in the box. But I'm going to say the pitch counts.
That is the best response I've ever heard for this question. I'm being serious because you're umpiring for what, like 11-year-olds,
Yeah.
10-year-olds. That's because the kids
They're not
deserve a
going to
chance
step out of the
hit.
box. They're going to stay in there.
Right. You're correct. That counts as a strike.
Mm-hmm. Is it because he had 1 foot?
Actually, here, I'll read it. Hold on.
I would like to hear the official one.
Like I said, I got this wrong. I was like, oh, I know this is easy. It's a strike. Cram did not ask the umpire to call time, so Daines was within the rules to deliver a pitch whenever he wanted.
Oh, he never called
I thought
time. That's what it is. Okay.
That's an awesome response. I've never heard that before because everyone always says, yeah, 1 foot out of the box, can't pitch.
Yeah, he never called time. That makes sense. I remember that happened to Odubel Herrera a couple of years ago. He was never called time. It was 1 foot was out of the box. Dude threw a pitch right down the.
Well, yeah, and that's because Odubel, he does the big, with the bat, and he wings it around and does all of his this thing, does the head thing. Have you ever seen him when he's on deck?
Oh yeah, it's brutal.
He does this. He wings the thing above his head because he has the weight on it.
Like, what is that gonna? What is that gonna do? Warm up your wrist? What does your wrist have anything to do with?
Yeah, I don't know. But no, I've never really understood that rule until I read it. But I've always thought in my head, I don't know why, that's just automatically a strike. I don't know, or automatically no pitch. But I think your response is great because those kids. I mean, sure,
those kids aren't stepping out of the box. I think
even if they do, and the pitcher.
I think the max age I go up to. Max age I go up to, it's like 7 to like 12-year-olds. And if I'm doing a majors game, because it's majors and minors for like better and worse kids.
Yeah, can we have
so
it?
Like if I'm doing a majors kids, they might step out, but it's 12-year-olds. They don't really care. It's in-house.
Exactly right. So for in-house, those kids deserve to hit. So I don't think the kid's not ready. He's not ready. Pitch again. Like, I don't know. And I like your ruling on that. Because, the rules are important, but it's important to make sure that all the kids have a chance to play. So I think that's good.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see what direction the Phillies go with all this free agency talk and how spring training goes. I'm so excited for the first game. I'll be have the MLB TV going during my first period.
Unfortunately, the game will probably start at 1 o'clock, and I'll miss the whole thing because that's, of course, my school blocks everything, so I can't watch it. But yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think it's blocked. I watched it last year, so.
I mean, I can check on ESPN, but like.
It's true.
I like MLB.com better, actually.
Yeah. CBS Sports isn't bad. It's slow, though. They destroyed that app, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, we will wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been an awesome episode. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. I am at Colin Daly 21. He is at B Goldstein PSR. And then the general page for Philly Sports Reports is just called at Philly Sports Reports, without the I, without the O, and without the.
If you look at Philly Sports Reports, they'll come up.
Yes, it will. So make sure to drop us a follow. You will stay up to date on all your Phillies news, all your Eagles news, all your Sixers news, and all your Flyers news, even some Union news. So make sure to do so. We will definitely keep you up to date. We are posting constantly. So That is very important. And I believe that is all we have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Our next episode we're going to be skipping a week next week, so make sure that you stay tuned. I believe it's 27th. Is that right, Ben?
It's something like that. And then if anything special happens, we'll have a emergency podcast out.
Yeah, video podcast. Maybe not a whole podcast, but we'll have something.
It'll be a little short, little thing.
Yes, it will. Short agenda, minicast. I like that, minicast. Minicast. We'll go minicast. All right. Thank you guys all for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you, and goodbye.
See ya.